Hey guys, and welcome back to my 3-monthers achievement run campaign. I had to start as Ryukyu with the goal of conquering the whole world, which is considered the hardest achievements alongside Mehemet's admission, which I already have. You can check it here. You've seen that in the first video, where I played 26 years, we moved to India. We formed Mughals and we became Sunni. Step 2 in our second episode is to start expanding into Tibet. While you'll see, I will still want to be a bit mysterious about this strategy. Okay, but before we go to the game, in the last video, I promised you that if we hit 237 likes, I would explain the whole strategy in the part 2 for you. We hit over 4,000 likes. So here we are. I borrowed a board from my daughter, my 3-year-old daughter, to write down everything for you in real time here. So step 1 is obviously India. Right, that's what we did in the part 1. India, Delhi, to get the provinces needed to form the Mughals. Part 2 is Timis plus Sunni. Right, so with this we could go ahead and form Mughals. And that's where we are after the first video. Now, if you don't want spoilers before the next videos and also what we'll be doing today, just skip what I'll be showing you right now, okay? Just skip it. I know that some of you want to keep it mysterious. So after Mughals, we will go to Tibet. From Tibet, we will go Buddhist. As Buddhist, I will be able to claim Mandate of Heaven. Right? Very important. And Mandate of Heaven, my friends, equals 20% CCR, co-creation cost reduction, but also 2.5% admin efficiency. Then, once we claim Mandate of Heaven, we'll go ahead and switch back to Hindu for 10% CCR, but also some very good monuments that we'll be having. But also, as Hindu, pretty much the whole world will be different religion for us, which obviously will be province source caucus for the other religions, modifiers, but also there should be from religious ideas. This is just the first stage, right? Setting up the right country with right religion. But the next question is, how do we stack modifiers? Let's start with the ideas. Diplomatic, right, for the province source cost, plus admin for the co-creation cost, obviously other modifiers, plus religious. This all is the perfect setup, right? Because this gives CB, this gives co-creation cost, this gives province source cost. Then we'll also take exploration. So we'll be able to get our capital to the new world, because since we formed another nation as Ryukyu, we have to do a true mandak with moving the capital to the new world. So now if we calculate how much of the co-creation cost we're having at this stage, right? We've got 25% from Mughal ideas, 25% from admin ideas, that's 50, 20% from mandate, that's 70, 10% from Hindu, that's 80, and 10% from the Mughals' culture stacking, which gives us 90% of the co-creation cost, as much as we can get, which means we co-create almost for free and in just 6 months. How about province source cost? Well, we've got province source cost from deploy ideas already, right? I know that it's not perfectly readable, but I'm trying my best. But besides that, we're gonna get another 25% from age, and that's age. I'm gonna do a trick where I'm gonna stop the global trade from spawning, so I'm gonna keep that bonus until the end of my campaign. And that's because that 25% province source cost from age is stronger than 30 admin efficiency from absolutism if we can call provinces in less than 10 months, which I can do with my co-creation cost stacking. So that's a good combination. Then we're also gonna get monument, which is the one obviously Malta for 15%, and we're gonna get also 10% from Balkans, because conquest of Balkans with the Mughals modifiers and the 10% province source cost. So if you calculate it, we've got 10% here, 15% here, that's 25% that's 50%, and Diplo, that's 70% province wars co-cost. Then you can get 5% from guarantee reforms. I'm not gonna get that far in the reforms. I can get another 15 from conquering all the Zlewikks, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to do that within that campaign, because it's just too much focus on one region. Besides all of this, we also have Hegemon, because Hegemon is another 10% of province wars co-cost, so we're gonna get it to 80% with that extra modifiers that I mentioned, but you could even get 90% if we really try at it. Besides co-creation costs, province wars co-cost, we're gonna also stack a bit of admin efficiency, even without absolutism, right? Because we've got 5% is from the monument in Alhambra, then we've got 5% coming from releasing Deccan from the Mughal mission tree, Deccan, and we've got 2.5% from Mandate of Heaven. There's a reform that you can take for 2.5%. There's also 2.5% in the guarantee forms, but I'm not gonna again get that far into the reforms. So with all of this setup that I mentioned earlier, we've got just perfect combination for very easy world conquest. I don't know how early we're gonna get that, because I already recorded 4 videos, so I know how is the speed of that campaign. But once the setup is gonna be done, it's gonna be crazy. Most important after today's video, when I'm gonna take Mandate of Heaven, will be to stabilize the country and make it ready to actually have resources to conquer, right? Because the big bottleneck with all of this setup is gonna be how much army I can have, how much money do I have to maintain it, and how much manpower, right? Easy peasy. I hope that you enjoyed that explanation. I know it was long, but you asked for this. So thanks for watching, and I hope that was very helpful to understand the whole setup. We keep losing a lot of stability in this campaign. What I want to do right now, before I start expanding here, is to just take a tiny little bit of a break to core all of these provinces, so we can scale a bit better than we are so far, and look for opportunities to do more show strengths. Next opportunity seems to be the Timurids, as our truce with them is ending in 4 years. Another important thing, since Tech 6 is here, and I took it, is to start developing an institution. And I will do that in Panipat, because it's just next to my capital, that has a lot of development, so should easily expand here. Let me reduce that autonomy. Should be even lower once we give it a month tick, because I reduced that autonomy. Yeah, it's at 40. Could be better, honestly, but yeah, it's not like we can improve it. And let me take encourage development. Giants don't give you dev cost, but there's a privilege for dev cost, which I already took. So we can just go ahead and start deving with all of our mill points and diplo points. Region does not give me any maluses, because we've got Dimi. If you take a look here, we got already 72% of this institution, and we'll keep deving it. First bonus in Age of Discovery is justified wars for the AE impact. Since my no CPU wars early on and a lot of expansion, it's already dropping, so it's not that big of a problem, but we will start expanding a lot soon. Also, since I'll be taking it slow right now, I'll also reduce autonomy wherever possible, as I'm stating all of these provinces. Interestingly, Ming just broke our tributary state.
I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye.
Which is actually good for us, so no longer waste power points to give it to them. Just keep in mind, you're not protected by them anymore, but now I'm protected by my allies, and I'm also not afraid of this. They would like to be my ally though, but no, I'm not gonna become your ally. There's the Renaissance. But she's surely enough to embrace it. 260 ducats is needed. I think it is fine to house. We are an empire now, right? Yes, I think it's fine to be for a little while below 10 of Crownland. I also have to take extra loan and then embrace the institution. Now, since Ming likes us, they're not gonna accept the knowledge sharing. I don't want to be my ally anymore as well. I might sell to nations like Bahmanis though, because the institution will spread to them anyway. At least this way I'm gonna take some advantage out of it. Now I can rival Korea, Mongolistan, which is my next goal to attack. But I can't attack them directly, Because you see they allied to my ally Bengal.
Oh no!
But
Anyway,
anyway, with all of the coring and reducing autonomy, you see my economy is pretty much fixed. Now I have to also focus on fixing our stability.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
Wait, what? Why Ladakh? Oh. Okay. That's actually bad. I prefer to attack Mongolistan directly. Although it's not that bad because now they're not gonna call in Bengal. And I'll have to fight Mongolistan anyway for these provinces here. Is Guga also their tributary state? The tributary state of Tsang. But I could take this two in the war with Ladakh. Yeah. So let's do this. Attack Ladakh. I'm gonna ask for help from Alban Multan. So the numbers wise they still outnumber us. But that should be good enough to break them. Especially if we take into account that I have tech 6 and they have tech 5, tech 5. So if I'm fighting -3, I also have a good general. Even fighting -3, I'm destroying them. Should start reading the mission tree. But getting a nice income and stability up to 1 gives me stability and 67% cheaper advisor. I have this guy 50% cheaper. Obviously this boy will be much more useful. So I now generate 16 points a month.
Beautiful.
That's all I need from this war. These 3 provinces, all of them with the same religion, access to Guga. No need to, you know, try hard more these freaking battles. We're with Guga for the conquest of Purang. You see they're gonna call in Tsang, but also Limbuvan. Can we get Limbuvan as a co-belligerent? Yes. Can we get Kham as a co-belligerent? No, that's gonna get Ming. Let's just do Limbuvan and ask Baba to help us out. At last, taking tech 5. Remember my Malhaus campaign, right? Where I played to decentralize the empire. In 1477, I was finishing my second idea group. See the difference? Let's me take tech 5. Which is gonna be unlocking me the diplomatic ideas. Stab cost impact, more diplomats, improve relations, but most importantly, province wars cost are the reasons for me to take it. To maximize my gains out of this war, I will subjugate Limbuwan. As then I'll be able to get provinces owned by Tsang in that war, while not spending that much war score on it. That's gonna go quickly right now. Tech 6 is here. And we're aiming for tech 7 soon for the second idea group. I might go for the monthly autonomy change or simply reform progress growth. Let's go for the reform progress growth. As told you, I'm subjugating Limbuwan. We'll have to improve relations with them for sure. See, we are collecting cheaper advisors to boost our mana generation. And this guy is another one to the collection. Is Bengal getting attacked by Jaunpur?
No! God, please, no! No!
This Bengal's just protecting Tirhut. Rookie mistake. And saying Bahman is getting his ass clapped by Vijay in a 1v1. Unless Bahman is a declared that war. Looks like they're winning technically. Because they have tech 6 and Vijay doesn't. Easy peasy war. Separate piece Tsang for all of these provinces. That's why I took Limbuwan, so I could make this kind of peace deal. Separate piece Kham. And that's even more important, right? Because Kham was supported by Ming for all of these provinces. AE is just fine. Then finally, we can go ahead and just take Purang from Guga. Which is also shorter truce, which means in like 6-7 years I'll be able to make this war again. So some of you probably already figured out that, yeah, I'm trying to switch my religion to Vajrayana. See, it's already 30% of my development. And I think to switch, it doesn't need to be over 50, it needs to be dominant. So it needs to be more than Hindu, which is 45% here. Still a bit far away, but we are getting there. There goes tech 7. Which unlocks me the second idea group. And this one is gonna be admin.
impossible.
For the co-creation cost, obviously. All those other stuff is very useful here, including stab cost, very important. Autonomy change, admin tech costs, and GAF capacity, also very important. These guys want to break the alliance, but hold. How about I pay you 20 favors to fuck off.
So I'm gonna pay you $100 to fuck off.
Since you want to reduce amount of the Hindu development, I will also just get some money through exploiting death in these two provinces. It's really weird to see a Ming that didn't Ming plot, and it's gonna be a tough war to handle for us for sure. We could try allying Ashigaga somehow if we make them like us. I didn't even notice that, but I think I got these two provinces when I was helping Multa in War of the Timors. I mean, yeah, I don't mind. Discipline from Mongol ideas is definitely gonna be something I will use in the war with Ming, which chose influence defensive ideas so far. Can get into war with Tsang thanks to attacking Guga again. See, that was a reason why I took such a small peace deal from them, or big peace deals from all of their allies. So here I'm only taking provinces from Tsang, nothing from Guga. I don't in their province, it's wrong religion. This way I'm coloring the lands here, but more importantly, now Vajrayana is at 35% and Hindus at 41%. Is it really? No. Oh yeah. I just need a bit of more, which I will get soon by annexing Limbuan, or be able to start it next year. With good amount of army attrition, and I think in our case, yeah, with good amount of battles won, I can unlock Rajput Mansabdar's Easter privilege. That is manpower recovery speed. This is pretty nice. And I not use any of this yet. So instead of getting 228 a month, I will be getting 247 a month. Yeah, actually, since these provinces were occupied, it's gonna be even more, to 265. Well, actually, since I have a lot of mill points, I can just go ahead and develop Vajrana provinces just a little bit. At least the ones at least the ones when I have states. Oh, there's a gold mine here, right? Let me state it. And for now also just develop with mill points. I need diplo points to get the province horse caucus first. Since I have some issues with money, I can also sell my titles and seize land to keep it above 10 and use that money to repay 2 non-1% ones I was having. If this cooperation grows from admin ideas, my CCC is already stacked at 55%. Not bad, right? Especially I can get another 10% here to get it to 65. Since my cooperation cost is so low, I can simply go ahead and state whatever we can in the country, because see, this costs, it's like for free. And see, I already popped Vajrayana zealots here. So I'm gonna start in Ladakh. It's really slightly that we need more. I think annexing Limbuan might make it really close. Leave Limbuan annexed. Let's take a look. We can go to Vajrayana zealots and simply go ahead and accept their demands. It takes prestige and some autonomy, and obviously crown land. No, of course, the stability. We lost the Dhimmi state, which means just more rebels. We've lost the tier 1 guarantee form, but worry not. I'm only temporarily changing that because we changed the region just for one goal. Mavtik. We changed the religion to take mandate of heaven from Ming. Yes, we're going for Empire of China in this. Mainly for 20% cooperation cost. So remember what I mentioned, 65 with what I have right now, 85 with this 20 from the Empire of China. Let's compare our military quality to Ming. So we got pretty much the same morale as Ming and same discipline. This is not good, because at the same time they have almost 5 times more troops than us. Just keep in mind they have tech 6, I have tech 8, which is improving the fire and shock modifiers of infantry. So that should be our strength. Also, on another note, keep in mind I can take like 3,000 dakas, probably more now that they are so big from me in a peace deal. So that's more or less the debt that I can take to defeat them. So having that in mind, let me start building 4,000 cannons as well as Grand Company. Let's see, 40k might not be enough, but I'll start with this, just not go too much into that. I can increase my discipline by changing advisor. It's not cheaper, but now I have 115% discipline. And I'm losing 20 attack a month. Yeah, I have to start that war ASAP. That's why I'm gonna deal with these two rebels first. Our rule just died as well. And just boost the stability. I want it back to 1. Yeah, I guess I'm generating a lot of mana, so that's alright. And now I surely have to focus on deep, just to balance this mana generation. They also have low mandate, still, it's gonna increase very fast. But that gives them some negative modifiers, like reduced, like there's more fire damage received than shock damage received they are getting. How's their manpower? It's insane, like, yeah, but since they're focusing on defensive ideas, we are really ahead. Let me obviously go for the take Mandate of Heaven and call in Ashikaga. I'm just wondering if these guys are even loyal. Yeah, looks like they are. Come help me, Ashikaga. They really have an advisor for 4 defense. So even my spy network doesn't help much. Looks like we have the first battle in the gap. Because they'll not be able to run away. And they're trying to reinforce it. Oh boy. Oh boy, we're losing that. Are we? 6th of October. Yeah, let's run away here. I'll see double the losses. So now I want to get the other guys here in the province. Should be much easier. So get also my best general into this. And now let's take a look. Take additional 2000 from this. And this guy's reinforced exactly after the month tick. Without them reinforcement, I would lose that battle. Now I'm actually only barely winning. But look at the losses. It was 26,000 troops in that battle. Okay, that's manpower. It's gonna drown very quickly. This is a massacre, guys. 25,000 wiped. We already killed 90,000 of their troops. And they're surely out of manpower. They are sure, and the AI is playing this war just in such a stupid way. And why I said that I just attacked them -3. That was me doing it in a very stupid way, but we still won by killing more than losing. Yeah, out of manpower 30k troops, it's gonna only get worse for them. Oh, Shah Johan 341, come on, and I have prestige to fix that. I actually just figured out, guys, because I was planning to go Sunni in this campaign, after I claimed the mandate. But I just read, the main reason I wanted to go Sunni is to have as little rebels as possible because of the Dhimmi. But I just read that Celestial Empire cannot have Dhimmi in state, which means it's not worth for me to go Sunni. I will instead go for Hindu, especially that it should be easy, right? Hindu is 38% of my development. I just have to pretty much go ahead and reduce development of Vajrayana a little bit by raising these provinces. And so it's 39.2. And now it's already a dominant religion, which means that as soon as I claim mandate, I'll be able to accept the zealot's demands. I just have to claim mandate before the zealots reach 100%. Yeah, obviously comment side. This is all I need from Ming. Full money, most importantly. Obviously claiming the Mandate of Heaven and war reparations as well as Canton, because not having Canton, Nanjing and Beijing is gonna give me maluses to the mandate. That's fine, I can just go ahead and do this. Obviously that gives me now meritocracy. I start with 60 mandate and see it is decreasing, but mainly because I have loans. I can right away spend meritocracy to get some co-creation cost, which is beautiful. I can also go ahead and repay pretty much all of our loans. See, down to 4. We got the eunuchs. We definitely need to give them some privileges to get them to 50. Just keep in mind their privileges are increasing your corruption, but if their loyalty is over 60, they are decreasing the corruption, so it's worth it in the end. Let me take the bonus to tax for sure, and power protection from insults. So now that's at least at 50. Can also do that. Sure, take care of the rebels. If you pass a day, we'll get the merchant guilds. Yeah, I can't give them the land right now, but I can take prestige. I can take the 1% loans. I can take tax and interest per annum. And now I can reduce our amount of the loans to 4. Because that's a bonus to mandate if it's below 5. So this is good. We can also go to Hindu now. Accept their demands. So now I can pick here. And that's actually a good idea. Let's just take another cooperation, because you'll see that already by now my cooperation cost is at the level of 65, right? If we don't look at the war exhaustion. So that's pretty good. Our religious unity is not too good, but I can go to merchant guilds. Oh wait, it keeps just changing a ring here. I got the Brahmins now instead of Umera or whatever was here, and I've got Vaishyas. From merchant guilds, I can take the tolerance of heretics and heathens for sure, which will increase my religious unity. From Vaishyas, oh, they just disappeared. Oh boy. Yeah, I think Vaishyas should have it as well, right? Please tell they do. If they don't, I'm a bit screwed. I guess it's fine. Let's just go to Brahmins. Take admin power, which is really important for us. Expansion is 0 for sure. High loyalty. And deep rep. Then from Vaishyas, we also need a high loyalty. Let's take that prestige again. Let's take the tax modifier. Actually, Vaishyas are just merchant guilds, but worse, right? There are just so many privileges are not here. I hate it. I definitely want this great project here. I definitely need great project here for the last of heretics and heathens, but that's for later. Also, my third idea group will be religious for the CB across whole world except India, right? And for India I have the mission tree, but also simply ability to convert stuff faster. Let me also go ahead and reduce. We should embrace Renaissance, so let me first embrace Renaissance before I do anything stupid. A disaster that I cannot avoid unless I unify whole China is Empire of China in name, because I need to accept two cultures, Chinese. It is just not doable because of the Mughals mechanic. That's a bit troll for our setup. That's fine. What I have to do now is to shorten my truce with Ming. I'll not be waiting 15 years to unify all of it. So instead I'll deal with the rebels and most likely attack one of these guys, like Bong Mao, to get Ming into the war and peace them out ASAP. The Militant Tier 4 Gati form is just a bonus to our religion. Unless there's something better I could use here, yeah. Yeah, how about we take the religious unity instead? We can also start establishing some tributaries, like Kathmandu. And the Balochistan. Let's do this, guys. I'm attacking Ming, with the goal of separate piecing them. Obviously they have millions of forts, so definitely have to take a big focus on them. Yeah, we can start the gold area. And fix our inflation, just at least a little bit. As promised, white piecing Ming, so our truce will instead end in 1508. This is really important. And do we want to do something with these guys? No, let's just white piece them as well. So now that we've got this handled, we can open our expansion to India, starting with Jaunpur. I can finish my deployment admin ideas now. Pretty fast. It's a policy which is not super helpful. That wasn't the main reason I took this ideas. This seems to be a good starter to get into Jaunpur with my relevant forts. I would try to also concentrate as much development as possible, and these are anyway pretty cheap to core. Just anyway, you see I'm about to get that terrible disaster that gives me technology cost. I should probably switch that tier 3 gantry form for monarch power tribute from tributary states. Questions, would I even get it? Oh, I can get it from anyone now. Yeah, that's good, that's good. Let me change all of these guys to diplo points, because I have to catch up on this technology. And there it is. Stability lost mandate. And separatism canton. I'm not gonna click it. To stop it, I have to change my culture to Chinese. Impossible. I have to accept cultures. Impossible. Or simply pass 10 years, which is gonna be my solution. Anyway, truce with Ming is down. Told you it's gonna be fast. I can declare on them. Obviously not for any of these, but for Unifying China, because just a reminder, it's not only 50% cost of taking provinces. So this combined with province wars caucus from here is pretty strong, but also any province I occupy during that war in China region is gonna become my core. Easy peasy expansion into China. Again, I can take up to around 3,000 dead during that war because that's how much I'll be able to take from them. I actually don't want a Ming implosion because that means out of rebels, and out of rebels means a lot of devastation. Out of devastation means no mandate. So I want to unite whole China ASAP with minimal devastation left there. That's what I'm telling you. All of these are our calls already. Now take a look. From Ming, I think all of this. Let's actually... Yes. Taking as many forts as I can, only not taking 2 forts in the north and some provinces up south. Obviously 3,000 ducats. AE doesn't matter. Peace and out. So I still have course on all of these provinces. Now what I should be able to do is immediately truce break them. We're same CP in the next month. Let's do this, guys. Truce break Ming immediately. We have to scale. See, AE is nothing because there's only on Korea, because there are now Confucian countries in the world. It costs a bit to boost it because of religious unity. But I have a bit of mana saved for this. Yeah, you see, the rebels are happening already. So I'll have to let some of these rebels happen. Question is how much of them we allow to happen. I also just simply need some connection between my provinces so I can stop some of these rebels from sitting down my own provinces. So it's gonna be a bit of the border war, as you see. But I don't think it's gonna be that tragic. Let's take something like that with the land connection between most of our provinces and almost 2,000 decades of money. Obviously everything I'm taking is my core, so I'll be able not only to stay these provinces, but also decrease the autonomy to get full gains from them. Now, not to another truce break, this is good enough for me to have really much stronger country. I will go and focus on India again now. Oh, and at the same time, I just finished the disaster, which is good. So this should fix it a little bit. So you have a bit of devastation, but that's why I also have so many forts, I didn't delete them. So actually autonomy is 0 right away. I don't have to decrease anything. So that's really good and really strong, which got our income to 40 already, which is paying so much to root out the corruption. But yeah, I can catch up with this technology. So now the corruption should be definitely better. But yeah, let's take a look. I can repay my whole debt. Yeah, I pay so much for all of these forts. I need to keep these forts to fix the devastation. Once the devastation is fixed, I will start deleting them. And I also need this force that just defend my country. So yeah, I have to just sit and pay for some of this stuff for now. Okay guys, I think this is it. That's where I'm gonna stop. I'm not entirely happy with the current result for 1518. But the next few decades, the next episode will be all about scaling to build up a base to go crazy in the next decades. So for today guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you did enjoy this episode. Let me know what you think about that strategy. And obviously subscribe to the channel to get notified about the future videos. Bye!